Hey, 7:38. Welcome into Acadiana's Morning News and Brand Buzz with the one, the only Jackie Russo. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we know that you pretty much operate as a travel agent
Yes.
for 2.5 months during the year.
Yes.
You have people going in every direction. You're keeping track of them.
I try to keep track of them. I don't always succeed, I got to tell you. Every once in a while, I'll lose one here or there.
Well, now you have one that drives.
Two that drive.
Two that drive.
Two that drive.
So now you either use them to your benefit. They either help with the shuffling, or else they get lost.
If you saw their chore list, you would know I use them all day long. There's no doubt about who's using who around here.
We were talking to someone, and their child just started driving recently, and she said, the mom said, you know what, I love it. Like, I don't pick up dry cleaning during the summertime. I don't buy dog food.
Yep.
Like, I just don't do whatever. And so she said that her way of doing it, because it was always a list, like, here's everything you have to do.
Right.
She said, no, you really need to grow up in the real world, and you need to buy dog food when we're out of dog food.
Right.
You need to, when you drop off clothes, know that they're ready in 2 days. So pick them back up.
Right.
So it's cool. It's like a semi-real world situation.
Although that can backfire at times, just to let you know. If you,
the dog doesn't need to eat.
If you put them completely in charge and don't be the parent that does the reminders, I try that every once in a while, like as a little test. How far have we come? Yes. Then all of a sudden they forget to do things like go and pay a ticket at court or miss driving school or, forget to pick up their sibling from somewhere that they dropped them off at. So there has to be probably some reminders at some point somewhere.
Okay. What are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about outdoor advertising.
Awesome.
Okay. I know.
Because we've kind of gone through the series.
We're trying to hit all the major
We did miss one because of the 4th of July.
We did.
So we were free from you for one.
We did. And I don't know the newspaper will ever recover from that.
Okay.
And that might be the downfall of print advertising. So outdoors. So billboards have a purpose in the world. For everybody who predicts the end of traditional advertising, it's not completely ending. They have a place. And so outdoors great for directional, first of all. Exit now. Turn left ahead. Those kinds of things. Oh, you can't do that without some billboards.
Yes.
Those are super important. And then events. Outdoors great for events. If you've got an event coming up, especially if you are in a community like Lafayette where digital advertising is so strong and all the major traffic intersections have great digital boards.
Yeah.
It's awesome for events.
It's so funny to me, even still in 2017, there are parts of our town, I'm going to still call it a town.
It is.
Parts of our town that still do the banner that hangs across where it always is. And you're like, do we still have to do this? And I'm sure it works for them. They keep the banner and they just change out the dates on it every year. But it's just the banner that hangs over Ambassador.
Right.
Does that still work?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
The ones that hang across Congress at Cajun Dome, they're looking a little faded with time. It's hard to read them at this point. But those billboards that you find in the major intersections that have the rotation, those work great because you're sitting there, you got nothing else to look at, especially now with the crackdown on holding your phone in your hand, even at red lights. Put your phone down and pay attention to the world around you.
So there is a personal injury attorney. I think he's out of Baton Rouge. I won't even say his name because then that would be a different type of advertising than we're talking about today.
It would be.
But it seems like any dangerous intersection, once you get up to it, there's a billboard that's facing that intersection. I have to wonder, is the purpose so when you get rear-ended and you're out of the car,
yes,
like getting someone else's information that you look up and you're like, oh, you.
There he is.
Okay, and the number's right there in big red letters.
Right. Well, and it's funny.
Does that have something to do with it? I mean,
I think it's just they're trying to buy any place where people have traffic. I mean, if you count the number of outdoor boards, divide by the number of personal injury, your answer is 1.
Yeah.
So if you add all the attorneys together, they pretty much dominate the landscape.
Yeah.
Because once one did it and it was semi-successful, they all jumped on board.
They all kind of do it too.
Yeah. It's monkey see, monkey do.
So events.
Yes.
Good.
What you don't want to do, the thing that I think is a problem is when you put your phone number. Because unless you are stopped on the side of the road at an accident or changing a flat tire, you have no time to write that down, memorize it, whatever. Websites work much better. It's easier for us to remember words than it is for us to remember numbers. And so people, I think, are remiss when they clog up their board with those phone numbers.
So am I the only one whenever
Probably.
it's a I doubt I am. When I see does advertising work? It just did.
It didn't.
That makes me so mad. You tricked me.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I may have noticed you're bored, but what did we accomplish
But
just
what
now?
did we do?
You
just made me mad because you did make me look at something that's nothing.
Well, at the end of the day, it's part of the landscape, so we're going to notice the boards. The better goal is to put something on there that's really going to be effective and proactive and achieve the goal of the campaign, whatever that might be. You were talking about the lawyers out of Baton Rouge, which really put me on a side note in my head. Have you been following the story of one attorney who apparently had a particular slogan that he was using, then he got disbarred, and then he let the copyright on his slogan pass, and then another attorney shows up, and he starts using a slogan that's very similar, just one letter off.
Okay.
And now the original attorney has been reinstated and is suing the second attorney. Google it. It's in Baton Rouge. It's crazy town.
That sounds so great.
It does.
It really does. It's been fascinating to me. I think that the legal community was supposed to be kind of cracking down and self-policing on their advertising. This one might have slipped by.
Yeah, because
Ethics committee.
just a little bit of a well. There you go. I just gave you like a 1A.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well,
topic.
and just on to finish that up. So Attorney One, the disbarred one, has now come out and started making ads making fun of Attorney Two.
Yes.
And like replicating his ads. And it may or may not involve standing on top of an 18-wheeler. And so he has somebody falling off of the 18-wheeler and saying, if you've been injured falling off of an 18-wheeler while making advertising, I mean, just...
Yes. Oh, my God.
We're in the gutter, big time.
That is so awesome.
It kind of is.
Okay, yeah, we'll catch up on that. Might have to do a little story for KPL965.com.
Car wreck.
I can't take my eyes off of it. I really can't.
Yeah.
Okay, so it works in these situations. A lot of times I sit thinking, only because I am a little bit more visual and a little bit more maybe perceptive to what like my wife is going to see. I know that I'm going to overanalyze everything because I can do that really fast. But when I see too much on a billboard, should there be a limit of how much information you should put?
That is the biggest failure, I think, is a static board that stays the same in the same place the whole time forever. That's mistake number one, because people learn to just tune it out. You don't see it anymore. And then number two is way too many words.
Yep.
3, 5, 7 if it's really good and really well laid out and well designed, but not 8.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. The ones that stand out to me, just off the top of my head that are simple, Cracker Barrel, $7.99 dinner.
Right.
Done.
Right.
You don't need anything else. It doesn't mention what's included.
Home cooking ahead. I love that.
Yeah, home cooking ahead. Yeah.
So there's ways you can be smart and clever, and it doesn't have to be some massive. If you got more words than 7, get a print ad, get a radio spot.
Hey, and also shout out to our friends over at the airport. What about the one between Baton Rouge and the Basin that says, "If you would have flown Lafayette, you would be home by now."
Every airport in the country has that, and I think it's genius.
It does make you go, oh,
right,
like when you are making that drive back.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
because that's when you're not feeling it. You're about to get on the Basin Bridge for that 24, 26 miles.
Fingers crossed, it only takes 24, 26 minutes.
Yes.
Did I remember, to put enough gas in the car?
Right. Do I have snacks in the back? Did I bring my fishing pole?
Did I tinkle first?
Right.
All important questions.
Yes.
Bernie asks those, by the way, every day when she walks into this studio before she comes in here with me.
Yes,
all right,
that's
it's 7:47.
exactly right.
We're going to get the podcast link up and this today's blog up at kpal965.com. Are we there yet? Are we in the top 100?
We're like 102. We're so close.
Keep on watching the podcast.
I need some 5-star ratings.
Leave reviews, 5-star ratings to get them up there. That's really awesome.
I know. We're so close for brand new podcast.
Brand new.
It's right there.
Stay with us. It's 7:47.